Peace, 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 peace. All right, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Let's say it again. Your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Ways to deal with anxiety. So I just was meditating not too long ago and I got a download that popped in my head about anxiety. First off, if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Dina Bryant. I do these inspirational videos just so we can shift our mindset. So back in, I want to say 2013, right? Somewhere along there. Okay, I used to experience anxiety and I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Okay, I just knew I felt other than myself, and oftentimes the anxiety will come up. Um, One, especially like if I wasn't speaking up for myself. So if somebody said something to me, it could have been family members. Like if I didn't agree with them, I wouldn't say anything. I would just do whatever it was because I felt like I didn't want to have bad luck, so to speak. Okay. Nowadays, I don't believe in luck. Okay. You get exactly what you get based upon the seeds that you are planting because there's laws in this here universe. But that's for another topic. So, I remember working at this hardware store, and it would be days where as though it felt like I was like kind of slow, right? Like when customers would ask me for certain things, at times I wouldn't be able to hear exactly what they would be saying. I would ask them like over and over again, like, "What you just say?" And they said again. I just felt other than myself. Okay. Another thing is you want to be around people that you absolutely enjoy. Okay. Let me tell you, you are here for a quick minute. All right. And by you hanging around people that you don't enjoy and constantly allowing people to say any and everything to you and you suppress it, whatever you suppress, okay, it creates the anxiety and then depression. So, one of the things that you can do is one, you can speak up for yourself. But two, if you feel like, if I say something to them, whatever, it's gonna be a big argument, whatever. Then when they leave or go somewhere and talk to yourself, okay, honey, I highly recommend that because that's what I do. Okay, you could curse them all types of ways out, all types of ways to Sunday. Okay, you could curse them out. All right, and to yourself. Okay, okay. The next step is awareness is really really key, and that probably should have been number one. But awareness is key. And honey, you're not crazy. Okay, because I know I used to feel at times like I was crazy, right? Like, oh my goodness, if I'm experiencing this, I can't tell nobody because first thing they gonna think I'm crazy. Honey, you ain't crazy, okay? And a lot of times it's your body letting you know, or your spirit letting you know that the role you're playing, that's not it, okay? And the things that you're doing is not working. So you have to do something different, all right? The next step is I highly, highly recommend meditation. I told you guys, I used to go to a psychologist and I used to be on Sanaprane. I think it's called Sanaprane, something like that. I know it was like 2 pills that she had me on. Okay, and the first psychologist I went to, honey, when I first went to him, okay, and I was explaining to the psychologist, what was going on with me and stuff like that. And they took tests, blood work, and the blood work, it came back negative, like nothing was wrong. Okay, they didn't see anything in my blood. Okay. It's a book that's called We're Not the Same that I highly recommend. It's really, really good. And the guy, he had asked me, he said, did anything different occur in your life? Okay. Now, the only thing that different that occurred was my mother just started staying with me not too long ago. Okay. And it would be times where as though my mother and I, like, we wouldn't see eye to eye. Okay. And at times, like, if I would say something, right? If I would say, "Mom, well, don't do X, Y, and Z," at times my mother would still do it in my apartment because she felt, I guess, like, she was my mother and stuff. And so I went to the guy, the psychologist. He prescribed medication, and the medication, honey, it had me a little out of this world. Okay, I was like a zombie almost, so to speak. Okay. And then I had found out about this other psychologist. I started going to this other psychologist, and she prescribed 2 pills. And I never was a big fan of medication, okay? Being the way that I grew up, like my father, he never would go for medication over the counter or prescriptions and stuff like that. Honey, he'd just drink some vodka, okay? All right, okay? But I didn't understand because he would do vaccinations, but he wouldn't do medication, so to speak, but the vaccinate. Okay. So, yeah, I started going to the psychologist. I started getting, medication, and the medication, one, it would keep me up at night. Okay. So the psychologist that I was going to, she would tell me, would take the medication, the pills that keep me up at night, take them in a daytime. Okay. And then just pretty much, reverse them. Okay. So if I was taking, one pill at nighttime that was keeping me up, take it in the daytime, and a pill that make me sleep, take it at nighttime. So that was that. Then the next thing is eat healthier. Okay, to me, this all ties together, and the steps that I'm giving you guys in chronicle order, some of them I wish I would have done first, like the meditation, but I didn't know. Okay, there's a such thing called divine timing, and I didn't know about meditation until way later, right? Until I started seeing, oh, okay, I'm eating healthier. I'm taking, because then I started going to a herbalist, and I started taking these capsules, these veggie capsules that's named True Calm. Okay. And I started taking them, which is encapsulated with herbs. Okay. But one of the things you have to understand is you could eat healthier. You could, be aware. You could meditate. But honey, let me tell you something. If you don't change your environment, meaning if you don't change the people that are in your life, okay, the people that, you constantly arguing with, you constantly fighting with, constantly they putting you, they saying things, and you allowing it to make you feel a certain type of way. If you don't change your atmosphere, the steps I'm telling you guys is not going to work, because things that show up in our lives, they show up for a reason. Okay. And the universe, let's just dive into the universe real quick. The universe, it gives you exactly what you are. So if I would put people on like this pedestal, right, and it like family members, and I felt like, well, if I say something, then they're gonna say I'm not gonna have any good luck, so let me do exactly what they want me to do, because if not, I deal with the consequences. Is dumb. And then it's also the universe, okay, the laws of this here universe. And the laws of the universe is like, well, why aren't you putting yourself first? Never mind what they think. Never mind how they feel. Why aren't you putting yourself first? And when you don't put yourself first and you do everything what somebody else wants you to do, okay, honey, your life is going to be a nightmare. While they are living from your life in a dream, their life is going to be dream, like the best dream, and yours is going to be a nightmare. Why? Because you're not choosing you choosing someone else. You get what I'm saying? And so you have to choose you. Okay, the next step is personal development. Personal development. I highly recommend you guys listen to personal development. Okay, this is my experience. I'm telling you guys what helps me. Okay, personal development, because it's like you reprogramming yourself, you educating yourself, things that you thought was true, things that you have been practicing for a while, and things that you just felt like, oh well, my life is supposed to be X, Y, and Z. When you start studying and acknowledging yourself, educating yourself, you're gonna see that your life is going to change. Okay, do not be afraid to cut people off. Okay, let me repeat that. Do not be afraid to cut people off. Do not be afraid to cut them off. Okay, the next step is you want to be mindful of, and it goes back to personal development, you want to be mindful what you allow into your subconscious mind. Okay, so we have two parts. We have the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious is the thinking, and the subconscious is the action. Okay, and so what you constantly allow into your consciousness, right? Like if you listening to stuff that is low vibrational, if you are watching things that are low vibrational, and you constantly being programmed, right? On television, the radio that you listening to, the music you listening to, you constantly being programmed. That stuff, it goes into your consciousness or into your conscious mind. The conscious mind, you could accept or reject. Okay, like say for instance, you watching something and they talking about a lot of fear, right? And they say, oh well, this, so many people are afraid, whatever it is like that. You could look at that and say, well, honey, I ain't. Okay, I do that from time to time. If I'm on social media and I come across something, I'm like, that don't apply to me. Okay, so you want to be aware of what you allowing to go into your mind. Okay, you would not allow me to come and dump trash on your living room floor. So do not allow the trash to go into your mind. Okay, the next step is don't take yourself so serious. Okay, don't take yourself so serious. You are not alone. You're not the only person that is experiencing anxiety. I remember the first psychologist that I went to, and I was telling him, like, how I felt. And he was like, oh, is anxiety, right? And I was ashamed. Like, I didn't want people to know that, because I felt like, well, the first thing they're going to think that I'm goddamn bat crazy, okay? And one of the things the guy said, the psychologist said, he said, all right, well, I'm gonna prescribe some medicine for you. He said, but don't worry about it. Everybody, I'm quite sure everybody at their hardware store is on some type of medication or walking up and down, feeling the same exact way you feel. If I could share something with you guys, is this. When you do something so long for a very long time, and you can really think that is normal, right? But it's a part of you that knows this not normal. And it was a part of me that knew, like, I would question it. I would say, wait, you mean to tell me I have to take medication in order for me to go to this job and earn a living? it didn't make sense to me. It really didn't make sense to me. And I remember I went to this therapist, an older gentleman, and I was talking to him about what I was experiencing. And one of the things he was telling me, he was saying, it was a young lady who was working at the courthouse. And because she seen the indifferences or the injustice or whatever, every time she would go to work, she would have to take medication in order for her to be able to cope at her employment. I don't know about the next person, but to me, I believe that we are all designed in a phenomenal way. And like I said earlier, there's laws in this here universe. And so once you start going against the laws of the universe, and this was something I did not know. I did not know, there was laws in this universe. But the more I started educating myself, the more I started watching people like Bob Proctor, my mentor, okay? And the more I started understanding, well, there is laws in this universe, but I always felt like it was something wrong with that. Like there was something wrong with, doing something that you don't enjoy or don't like, but you doing it because of a paycheck. Like to me, my experience was I should not have to come to this place just because a paycheck, right? And I'm feeling very, very uncomfortable. And the second psychologist that I had went to, I remember telling her exactly how I felt, and I forgot. I think she put level 4 far as I didn't even know it was got certain levels. I just thought, you experience it, whatever. Oftentimes I would feel like a deer in headlights, like stunned, like shocked or whatever it is. And I remember telling the psychologist, like, I don't know if I could go back to the job, right, that I was working at, the hardware store that I was working at. And so she took me out of work for, a few weeks and stuff like that. But when I went back, I felt the same. Like at first, yeah, it was good, but then I felt the same. And that was because I was the same. That was because I didn't change anything about me. And so if you don't change, then you stay the same. Okay? And so that's what I needed to do. I needed to change. I needed to get people out of my life who I did not enjoy. Okay? I needed to be around people that had a positive upbeat about life and understood that they are the creator of their reality. I needed to start reprogramming myself and start understanding that, what I have been conditioned to believe is not true. A belief is, it can be changed at any given time. Okay. Any given time, it can be changed. Right. I'm also thinking about this one time, right? I was in this relationship with this guy, and I remember I felt really, really uncomfortable. I would be around like his family members, right? And I felt really extremely uncomfortable. And, just wanting to fit in, just wanting to be accepted, And I remember on our way back home, because then I started, when you trying to fit in, you trying to be accepted, honey, be around people that enjoy your time. Okay? Not around people that feel like, like it's a job being around you. No, be around people that enjoy your time. Be around people that appreciate you. Okay. And I remember on our way back home, me and a guy, and I was telling him, like how I was feeling. And I was like, oh, because I was saying, and honey, do not claim any. Listen, okay, you can say I experience. For me, I say I experience this or I'm experiencing that, but I do not claim it. Because what you constantly speak over your life, that's what shall be. Okay, there's power in this here thing in our mouths that we call a tongue. And so I don't say, oh, I have and all those different. No, I don't say that. Okay. But I remember we was on our way back home, and I was telling him, I was like, oh, because at that time I said my right anxiety or whatever. Okay. But honey, I do not claim that. Okay. And one of the things he said, he was like, I don't give a fuck about that. And I just felt some type of way. I felt really, I felt hurt, you know. That's how I felt, because I was like, oh my goodness, I'm telling you what I'm experiencing, and you telling me you don't care about it. I knew right then and there he wasn't the one. Okay, I knew he wasn't the goddamn one. Okay, all right. The next step, it would be challenge yourself. Yeah, honey, challenge yourself. Okay, challenge yourself. And so what I do is, remember I told you guys about listening to personal development and educating myself. So I challenge myself. It's going to be times where as though you want to do something, but you may say, oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I just don't want to go out today. Oh, I just feel, to me, for my experience, I challenge myself. I talk to myself, okay? And I ask myself, why do you feel this way? Like when I'm walking past people and I feel, a little nervousness, why you feel this way? What's going on? Like, why you feel this way? Okay, so I talk to myself. Understand this is this phenomenal book that I absolutely love, and is The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power by Vernon Howard. And in the book, it talks about a prisoner cannot escape a prison that they do not know they're in. And so because you are aware, that is the first step of healing yourself, because you're aware. Because if you're not aware, okay, you will just keep doing the same exact thing and not knowing what's going on. But because you are aware, things are changing. They may not appear to be changing, but honey, I could assure you that they are changing. Okay? And also understand that in life is either one or two things that we are operating from. So it's either faith or fear. And both we cannot see. Okay? But I choose faith. To know that everything is working out in my favor. To understand that my guardian angels are here to protect me and to guide me. To understand that my intuition is always rocking out with me. To understand that my higher self has my best interest. And so I hope this video helps someone out there. Do understand it's getting better. It will get better. Okay. I'm sharing my experience, what I have experienced and what I have gone through and grew through. Okay. And not to say that I don't experience anxiety, right? And this is another thing I would say. I would highly suggest start finding out what it is that you enjoy doing. Your purpose. If you could go and buy you a notebook and start jotting down what are all the things that you enjoy doing. See, when I had got the download to make videos, I didn't understand that it would be family members that, that I often would go to when I would have issues or problems, illusions of problems. I didn't understand that the universe had it all set up for me to come and make videos and be of an example, sharing my story and my experience, and letting you guys know exactly what I'm growing through. And so whenever you feel in a certain type of way, I'm gonna share this next story. I remember I was in college, right? And I was just signing up for it was a 4-year university. And I remember it was this white lady, okay, because I always thought that anxiety was only white people experienced it. Because you never really hear too many people of color that say that they have experienced or that they experience anxiety or depression. Okay. And so I remember I was in college. I was signing up, and it was this white lady who, honey, gave me so much courage because she was signing up, and I guess signing up for school, like doing her classes, and I guess she couldn't really focus or whatever, or function, because she's blurted out and said, "Oh my goodness, could somebody just help me? Okay, I'm going through anxiety right now." And I said, "Oh my goodness, okay," because it let me know that I wasn't goddamn alone. All right, okay, and so you not alone. And anxiety and depression, it does not have a skin, it does not go by skin color. Okay, everything in this here universe is based upon what you are doing and the laws of this here universe. Like gravity is a law. Okay, and so if you break the laws or go against the laws of the universe, then it's like cause and effect. So I'm still learning. I'm still growing. Okay. Make sure you guys believe in yourselves. Make sure that you understand and get that it's going to get better once you get better. Until next time, I love you guys. Peace.